Good afternoon, my name is Ela. I've come from Manchester High School for Girls. The piece I'm going to perform today is the nurse's monologue from Act 1, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet. The nurse plays a central role in the play, her main purpose being to act as a messenger between Romeo and Juliet. She is pivotal in developing the romance between the two young people, as she's pivotal in developing the romance between the two young people, as she acts as a messenger. The nurse makes her first appearance in this scene from which the monologue is taken. The monologue informs us that the nurse raised Juliet, and as such, Juliet sees her as a friend and somebody she can trust. We also learn that the nurse lost her own child at birth, Susan, but grief does not encompass her as she believes she is with God. The tragedy is that later she loses a second child. The nurse is portrayed as God-fearing, loyal, humorous, and sometimes as somebody who does not know when to stop talking. I wanted to play this role as she's different from many of Shakespeare's other characters, as she's portrayed as having all of these qualities rather than just one. When rereading the play, I decided that the nurse was around 40 years old. Therefore, she does not have the mannerisms of an elderly woman, rather those of a younger middle-aged. My final reason for playing this role is that Romeo and Juliet is one of Shakespeare's most famous tragedies. However, interspersed within the tragedy are pockets of light-hearted discussion and humour. Over the past few years, especially during the pandemic, I've learnt that humour is a really important part in life. So as such, I believe that in a world full of tragedy, there's always space for a little comedy. Thank you. Faith! I can tell her age unto an hour. I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teeth be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not 14. How long is it now till Lammas tide? Even or odd, of all the days in the year, come Lammas eve at night, shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Susan is with God now. She was too good for me. But, as I said, come Lammas eve at night, shall she be 14. That shall she. Marry, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never should forget it, of all the days in the year, upon that day, for I had then laid wormwood to my dog, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but, as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dug. Shay, quoth the dove house, 'twas no need I trow to bid me trudge. And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow, and my husband, God be with his soul, I was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, fall'st upon thy face, thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dame, the pretty wretch left crying and said, Aye, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not do, quoth he, and it stinted and said, aye. Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh, to think it should leave crying and say, aye. And I warrant it had upon its brow a bump as big as a young cockerel stone, a perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Fall'st upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age, wilt thou not do? And it stinted and said, aye. Peace, I have done.